All right, we are recording.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Careers in Business info session. My name is Cynthia Rodriguez. I'm the Associate Director for Diversity, Inclusion, and Early Engagement. And in a second, I'm going to kick it off to Becky for her to introduce herself. But I just wanted to quickly say that the point of today's session is just to give you a very surface level introduction into business. So maybe some of you have classmates that say they want to go into business or finance or accounting. Maybe your parents are kind of encouraging you to go into business, but you're not really sure what that means. That's the point of today's session, is just to kind of demystify some of these careers and then share with you some of the resources and supports that we have here at the Center for Career Development, and then things you could do during your time at Holy Cross. And I'll kick it off to Becky.
Thanks, Cynthia. Hi, everyone. My name is Becky McCain, and I am the Assistant Director in the Center for Career Development. I specifically work with students who are interested in business consulting and finance. And so after this presentation, if some of this resonates with you, please come and schedule an appointment with me so that we can walk through the different details and steps that you can take to find the career that fits for you. Business is really intimidating, but also really vague in general. So the point of this presentation can give you some guidance as to where maybe your path fits. So today we're going to talk through business consulting and finance and what those even mean, some of the recruiting timelines and what employers are looking for, as well as sample resumes and some next steps. So to get started, just a very, very good overview of the Center for Career Development. We have different career communities, and students can be a part of one or as many as they'd like. Like I said, I oversee the business consulting and finance career community. But if that doesn't resonate with you after this presentation, that's okay. We have arts, communication, and media, education, human services, nonprofit, government, international affairs and law, health professions, life sciences, and science, technology, and engineering. So like I said, today we're focusing on the BCF career community. However, there's often a lot of overlap between career communities. And so if you think, oh, I kind of see myself in BCF and ACM, that's okay. That's great. There are resources for you within all of them. So what does it even mean to have a career in business? I went to a liberal arts institution as well, and I remember very clearly having absolutely no idea what I wanted to do. And there was a business major that was an offer there. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to major in business because business can mean anything, which was great, but it also gave me very little guidance because there are so many components to business, and people can both work in business but have completely different lives and careers. And so we're going to break it down to some general categories of jobs within business. And then if something really sticks with you, I would encourage you to have a conversation with me about a little bit more specific what fits for you within that category. So one of the big categories that we hear about is consulting. But what does it even mean to work as a consultant? In very, very general terms, consultants offer advice and expertise to client organizations to help them improve their business performance. This can look really different depending on who the clients are and what the company is. For example, my little sister had an internship in consulting last summer, and she was working with airports in their customs and security to help them move more fluidly. Whereas somebody else could work with maybe Nike to work on, their flow of their products. So consulting can look really different. Some common titles are management consultant. That's what you hear of when someone works for a really large company like maybe Deloitte or EY. But there are also financial consultants, IT, information technology consultants, business strategy consultants, and marketing consultants. So like I was saying, consulting is a super broad term, and it can look really different depending on your role, whether it's within a consulting agency or within a smaller firm. There are also specific types of consultants like an education consultant, someone who works in government with consulting, or sustainability. So if you're someone who has a really specific passion and you also like problem solving, maybe consulting is for you. Typically, people who succeed in consulting, like fast-paced environments, are collaborative, can work on a team. There is a lot of frequent travel for specific types of consultants, as well as multitasking and use of data to solve those problems. So if that resonates with you, come and chat with me about consulting. Another large category of jobs within business is finance. A lot of times you'll hear it be referred to as financial services, but that could mean really anything. So if you work in finance, chances are you're working with money. You could be investing money, you could be managing it, you could be managing a client's money or a certain person's money, or you could be managing a whole company and different portfolios. You're protecting money or working with, like I said, individual customers, corporate clients, investors, shareholders, and colleagues. That could look really small scale or big scale. The big takeaway for finance is that the titles often include analyst. So if you are scrolling through Handshake and you see summer analyst, financial analyst, data analyst, chances are you're going to be working in some capacity in what we would call financial services. Those roles can be really different though. For example, an investment banking analyst might work 90 to 100-hour weeks. Some people think that sounds awesome. Other people might be saying, you know what, that's not for me, but I still want to work in finance. So I would encourage you, if this is resonating with you because you really like working under pressure, you really like working with numbers, you're interested in money and the markets, maybe you're really passionate about working with money and investing, and maybe you took an econ class that you loved. If that's resonating with you, that's great. Come and talk to me about financial services. The caveat here is that if parts of finance are not resonating with you, like maybe you heard me say that a 90 to 100-hour work week for investment banking, and you're like, oh God, that's not for me. That's okay. That's not every role in finance, and it's a common misconception that it is. So finance, super broad in general. If you like working with numbers and working under pressure, an analyst role might be a good fit for you. So now we've gone consulting and finance. Those are two big flashy categories. Another one is sales. So sales people typically present and sell products or services. Those could be a physical product or a technology or a service that a company provides. Oftentimes, people who work in sales are setting and meeting goals, and maybe they negotiate contracts with clients that they already have as part of their team. People who work in sales often give presentations, give product demonstrations. Again, this could be really small scale or really big scale. And a lot of the roles include the word sales in it, which makes it easy to see that it's in sales. So sales representative might be someone who is actually selling that product and giving demonstrations. Sales manager might be someone who's overseeing those people. Sales associate. And then you see a little overlap too with finance when we see investment banking sales broker. So these categories aren't perfect, and within business, there can be a lot of overlap. And so if you're like, oh, sales sounds kind of cool to me, but so does finance, great, you can find an overlap there. However, if you're someone who finance was not something that you're interested in, there are roles within sales that don't overlap. People who work within sales tend to be great at public speaking, communication, again, setting and meeting goals and staying motivated and organized. And often the most successful salespeople are passionate about a specific product or topic, or just the company that they're working for. We have a very active alumni who really says that athletes thrive in sales. And so if you're an athlete and you've been trying to find your path, sales could be it for you. If you're not an athlete, you can also be successful in sales. And finally, the last one that I wanted to chat about today is real estate. We all know that real estate refers to any land or building property, but a lot of times people say they want to work in real estate, and that could mean so many different things. It could mean you manage or develop properties, which could be apartments and homes, or they could be commercial real estate, right, that companies are using. You could serve as an agent or a broker, or like I said, work with commercial or resident real estate. There's a big difference there. There's also the other side to real estate, that overlaps with the law. So you could work as a real estate lawyer or a writer. So maybe some of you have two totally different majors at Holy Cross, and this is where you see the overlap, right? You could be a creative writing major and an econ major. Maybe real estate is a really good fit for you, and you could be some sort of real estate writer. A lot of the titles have real estate in them, but they often have to do with developing properties, working with clients. As you can see, you can kind of have an overlap with consulting, education, law, but also real estate can stand alone as its own category. Typically, people who are good at real estate, again, like to work on a team and have really strong collaboration skills, have project management skills, which basically means you're really organized and you can manage many different goals and tasks at once. And of course, you want to have an interest in real estate. So if this is you, great, you can come and meet with me as well. So we talked about consulting, finance, sales, and real estate. If none of those resonated with you, it doesn't mean that business isn't for you. Those are just the four biggest categories that I can think of. We also have a finance club, a sales club, and a real estate club at Holy Cross, and those are great clubs for you to join. We're also hoping that in the fall, a consulting club pops up. So you might be in luck to be able to join a club that matches your interests.
Awesome. So I'm going to take it over from here. So thank you, Becky, for describing some of these different jobs within the industry of business. And now we're going to talk about what employers are looking for. So obviously, you were all students. No one is expecting you to come with finance experience, real estate experience, but they are looking for a couple of different things. One is demonstrated interest. So when an employer sees your resume, for example, they know that you're interested in business because maybe you are in the finance club or the business club. Maybe you did one of the business certificate programs through the Chioka Center. Maybe you did an internship in business last summer. So the idea is to try to arm your resume with different aspects of business so that an employer knows, okay, the student is really interested. Maybe it's taking an econ class or an accounting class. So it's just demonstrating your interest in different ways. The second one is a strong GPA. Your major doesn't matter. So you can major in English or creative writing, sociology, anthropology, which don't automatically come off as business classes or majors. But it's okay to major in those as long as your GPA is strong, right? They want to see somebody who is going to work hard in whatever they are majoring in. If you are someone who is going to take a major in something that's a little bit different from business, then you definitely want to have those clubs, those Chioka programs on your resume to show that you have that interest. And lastly, it's involvement on campus. Again, joining those clubs, attending networking events. Becky puts on a lot of great panels, workshops, and events. Employers also come to campus sometimes or have virtual events. So getting involved in different ways is also going to attract employers to your resume. So the next thing is the recruiting timeline. What a recruiting timeline is essentially when employers start to post and review applications for internships and jobs. For business, the timeline is a little bit quicker and sooner than most industries. So what that means is, let's say right now, we are in spring 2023. You may find some internships out there on Handshake or other websites for sales, for real estate, for HR, for marketing, but you're also going to see internships for summer 2024. So the recruiting timeline is really far ahead. For students that want to go into accounting, especially working in Wall Street, you're going to want to be applying now for summer 2024. Now, for this summer, again, you're going to be doing those applications for the summer of 24, and then you're kind of being back on track. So it's all a matter of working ahead. The best piece of advice I could give you for this is it's never too early to start. Now, if you are a first year or a sophomore, I don't want you to, I don't say any of this to panic, right? The point of this is just to kind of teach you the timelines and teach you everything. Basically, if you are worried at all, if you feel like it's too late, you're not even sure where to start, Becky is your person, right? She is going to help you, especially if you're still kind of going back and forth between sales or real estate or Wall Street accounting. Talk to her, come visit her, and she can help you figure out when is the best time of the year to be applying and what you should be looking for. But just remember that it's always like a summer ahead for a lot of different industries. Now, a sample resume. So like every internship, you're going to need a resume to apply. And the resume is going to look pretty similar as if you were a student for any other major, any other career path. It's just a matter of what you're going to be highlighting more or less. So the top section is going to be education, and that's the same for everyone. You put College of the Holy Cross. Notice that the dates are all perfectly aligned on the right-hand side. That's just the industry standard. Recruiters know to look on the right-hand side for dates. Below that, you're going to want to put a GPA. If it's 3.0 or above, put it on. Anything below, we're going to want to work on until we can put it on there. And you'll notice there's a section called relevant coursework. This is where you want to highlight courses that have to do with econ, macroeconomics, linear models, calculus, anything that is relevant to the job or industry that you want to go into. We want to kind of shy away from putting any entry-level courses in here. And you'll notice this student, Freddie Finance, did a certificate in financial accounting at Harvard Business School. There is no need to do that. This is just an example. I don't want you to feel like you have to go and pay for extra courses elsewhere. The Chioka Center offers amazing courses throughout the year in the business certificate. So check those out when you get an opportunity. Now, under work experience, you're going to see that this student has a lot of internships that they have done throughout the years. The main thing you want to put is the title that you have. So in this case, it's investment management intern, the company, Boston Financial, the location, and then the date. That format is going to stick throughout the entire resume. And then below each entry, you're going to put a couple of bullet points describing what you did. Your bullet points should always start with verbs, right? So action words. So you analyzed, you taught, you managed, you assessed, you created. You're going to want to put that on there because you should demonstrate what you were responsible for and the things you did. With a resume for business or finance, the more detailed, the better, right? So did you work with 10 clients? Did you work with 20 clients? Was there certain amounts of money that you were responsible for? Numbers and facts and figures kind of more highlight the things that you did. The next section is going to be activities and service. So that's any clubs, volunteering, club sports that maybe you're a part of on campus. So this student was a member of the finance club. Same thing, your title, the organization, the location, the date. And again, a couple of bullet points describing what you did. And then at the very bottom is skills. So this section is only for hard skills, languages, computer skills, licenses, or certifications that you may have. You want to avoid putting soft skills like teamwork and communication. That's the kind of thing you highlight more so in a cover letter or in an interview. For resumes, if you need help editing your resume or just crafting one because maybe you don't have one at all, you can come in for drop-in hours. So that's Monday through Friday, 1 to 4 p.m. You just pop in and one of our students can help you create a resume.
Just one quick addition to the resume slide. I know we have a lot of first years on the call. If you are a first year and you have experience from high school, if those are major leadership experiences and things that you would feel really confident talking about in an interview or in a conversation with alumni, they absolutely belong on your resume. And then as you get more and more involved at Holy Cross, you'll slowly take those off as you run out of space.
Oh, and actually, Becky reminded me of one quick thing. Sometimes students, especially if you're a first year or sophomore and you haven't had any internships yet, it's okay. And we actually encourage you to put any work experience that you've had, even if it's a cashier at Target, a busboy, a waitress, a lifeguard, caddy. Companies and employers want to see that you've had a job. It shows responsibility, it shows time management, it shows customer service. So sometimes I have students come into my office who don't put their regular jobs on there because they think it's not related to the industry that they're trying to apply to. Please put that on there. Even if you're a barista at Cool Beans, maybe you work at the Joe, any of those jobs, again, show responsibility and they show relevant skills. So please put those on there as well.
Absolutely.
So next steps. The first thing that we encourage you to do is meet with a counselor. We are here to help you figure out which career path is a right fit for you, whether it's one of the ones we mentioned today, or maybe none of these, right? It's okay to be undecided. It's okay to be between a couple of different things, but the sooner you come to our office and make an appointment with us, the sooner we can start to kind of come up with a plan. If some of the jobs and industries that Becky mentioned today are appealing to you, we highly encourage you to join the BCF career community. By joining the career community on Handshake, you will get emails from us about jobs, internships, panels, workshops, and events, but then you can also get GroupMe notifications. Becky has an amazing GroupMe that she's constantly posting new opportunities on, and there's always Holy Cross alumni that want to connect with you. So they will sometimes share opportunities with Becky and she puts them on there. And then lastly, come in for those drop-in hours that I mentioned. Monday through Friday, 1 to 4 p.m. Our PCAs are there. They can help you craft or edit a resume, maybe a cover letter, or maybe you're kind of not sure how to navigate Handshake. You're not sure how to complete an application. Any question, big or small, you can just drop in and we can help you answer it. If it's a bigger thing, like maybe you have an upcoming interview or you would just want to prepare for an interview or something a little longer, you can make an appointment with Becky and she can give you some really great interview strategies. And here's some additional resources. So we're going to send out this slide later on with the links. But CCD On Demand is our virtual Hogan 203. This is where we have resume samples, interview series, industry insight videos. That's where we've interviewed alumni in different industries and they're giving you tips and tricks of the trade. So all of our resources that are available in our offices physically are also available online on CCD On Demand. Firsthand is a really great tool. It's a site to learn about different careers within business. So if maybe something that Becky mentioned today is kind of piquing your interest and you want to learn a little bit more, Firsthand is a really great place to start. And then another resource is the Chioka Center, like we mentioned. They have business certificate programs and business clubs so that you can gain a couple more of those skills if you really want to stand out for an application or an internship or a career path. And so now we're going to open it up to questions. You can put a question in the chat and Becky or I will answer it. And we'll stick around for a little bit.